that we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through.
Hi guys, so I'm coming to you now to go through a part we've already done, part 2, but a few of you are having problems with your live stitches, so I'm just going to run through how we do those and how we carry them up. And this is especially also helpful if you're working on the Ziggy design, which I've got, you can see in the background here, because the stitches and like how we carry them up is the same. So I'm going to flip you around and I'm just going to go through a run through on how we do that final part for the part 2 square. So here you can see that I've completed part 1 and part 2 of my multi-block square, and then I've done my first row of part 3. I've joined in at this top stitch where your end should be from part 2, and I've chained up 3, and then I've trebled my way across. And just remember that you want to treble into the side of your treble and then into the stitch part of your treble and the side and then the stitch part, all the way till you get to your granny square part, and then you're just going to go into the top of each stitch. At that end of that first row, I've just left my last stitch nice and loose. You can use a stitch marker if you want, but I just think it works if you just pull it. Let's be quite careful with it. I'm going to take our next colour and I'm going to join in on the same side, so working on the right side again, in the third stitch of that chain at the beginning, and I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do a treble into each stitch down the row, and then show you how to secure that live end. So I'm coming up to my end now, and I just tend to pinch the loop so I know it's not going anywhere. I'm doing 1 treble in the second to last stitch, and in that last stitch I wrap round to do my treble, come through the stitch, and then I just place that loop on my hook, and you can pull that tight. So can you see it's now secure? I want to wrap round, I'm going to pull through those 2 loops on my hook. I've got the rest of my treble to complete, and then you can pull. So that's secured the live end from the row below. And now what we're going to do is we're going to travel it up, and the reason we secure it here rather than in the previous method where I kept it long is that you just then get a single strand to carry up and it's a lot less bulky on your edges. So I'm going to take the black, I'm just going to pull it up with a slip stitch, like pull it through. Pull your second cord tight, but this one, make sure you don't pull this too tight because you don't want to pull it really tight and it pulls your work. So then I find it easiest to do my chain up now, so chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then turn your work to work back across. So now I'm going to treble into each stitch all the way across, and then I'm going to leave this end live at the end. And in your last stitch, just always, I always as well with a small piece, count across each row to make sure we've got enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. That's what we wanted to have. Last stitch, just pull that loop long. We're now, our white is now not on the same side. So this is when what we'll do is flip your work around, and we're going to go to the edge which has got the next colour we want to work that. And so what you're going to do is you've got, this is your first chain up from the previous row, go through with your hook, the third stitch, take that white from below, just pull it through, nice and loose. Do your first chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to flip the work round and we're going to come back along this row doing trebles till we get to our live stitch, and then we're just going to seal it the same way that we did in our first row. And so then you just repeat that process until you get all the way to the top and fasten off. And it's just a really easy way to carry your colours up, making a reel just like a thin pull up and not having all those pesky ends. So I hope that helps. And that's why carrying your stitch up is so useful and leaving your ends live, because now we only have one's already trapped in, but we only have 4 ends to sew in from that section rather than having 2 ends each line. So if you've got work and you're doing 2 stripes or 3 stripes, what you can carry up, it's a real helpful tip to just create less work at the end of your project. So I really hope that helps you complete your second part. Thanks.